Where is Barron Trump? Well, wherever he is, he's going to be subpoenaed soon, and he's going to sit under oath, and he's going to have his deposition taken, and some serious questions are going to be asked of Barron Trump about how he's allegedly made hundreds of millions of dollars, potentially on crypto, if that's accurate, what's being reported, his connections to the Tate brothers, and other aspects of his life. Donald Trump and Melania may want to call Barron their little boy and act like he's a little child. Let me be very clear. Barron Trump is not off limits. Barron Trump is absolutely somebody who should be subpoenaed, somebody who should be investigated, in my opinion. And I am glad that Democratic Congresswoman Ansari is leading the charge as it relates to Barron. We talk about Melania's sick, disgusting, and dark past, in my opinion. We talk about Donald Trump's sick, disgusting, dark past, in my opinion. And we should talk about their spawn. We should talk about Barron. Yes, there are the headlines with Barron that say, Barron Trump dragged into probe of his twisted rape charge idols, is a headline right now from the Daily Beast regarding the Tate brothers. But before that, the headlines from 2025, how Donald Trump's youngest son built a $150 million crypto fortune. I wonder how. Trump says he didn't know about the windfall from his family's crypto ventures, where it's alleged that Barron was instrumental in the founding of World Liberty Financial, which made nearly $800 million for at least Donald Trump and maybe others for more. Got big injections by Pakistan and Abu Dhabi and others. So I think we should ask Barron Trump those questions. Heck, people were asking Hunter Biden questions about his paintings. Where's Hunter was a mantra. No, where is Barron is the big question right here. So here's the letter that was just sent out by Democratic Congresswoman Ansari to James Comer. And let's be clear, James Comer and these disgusting MAGA Republicans are the Trump cover-up racket. They ain't gonna do anything. But what I like Congresswoman Ansari doing here is making it very clear that when Democrats take control of the House of Representatives after the midterms, she's gonna subpoena people like Barron Trump, like Don Jr., like Eric, like Jared Kushner, like Steve Witkoff. And I think the American people, frankly, whether you're Democrat, Republican, Independent, whoever, I think American people want to see these depositions taken. They want accountability right now because they know that something smells a lot more than fishy. Let's just put it that way. Here's the letter that Ansari sent to Comer. I write to respectfully request that the Committee on Oversight and Accountability open an investigation into potential political interference and improper conduct by the federal government regarding the criminal prosecution of a U.S. British citizen Emery Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate. These two individuals have been handed down 38 sex-related criminal charges in the United Kingdom, in addition to charges in Romania, but have yet to face extradition or face other penalties by the Trump administration, such as prosecution or detention in the United States. Remember, they were released from Romania after there was apparently an influence campaign on the Romanian government to do some quid pro quo favors for Donald Trump when Donald Trump took office. Egregiously, investigative reports detail, Ansari says, extensive communications between Andrew Tate and Barron Trump, Trump's son, as well as the Tate brothers' broader interactions with high-profile individuals in Donald Trump's personal circles. And Ansari and the Democrats are demanding Barron Trump be subpoenaed, that he sit for a deposition, and we learn more about what the hell he's doing, where the hell he is, and what he's doing in this despicable Trump regime. Now, when Donald Trump refers to Barron, he calls him my little boy. He's a little boy and he's quite tall. He's an adult. He's a grown man, even though nobody's actually ever heard his voice before. Stop with he's a little baby boy. No, he's a grown adult. Let's play this clip of Donald Trump calling him my little boy. Let's play it.
Most importantly to her, she's done an incredible job as First Lady. And she's an incredible mom. She has a little boy who's quite tall. He's a little boy to us, but he's quite tall, right? And he's great, Barron, and she takes great care of him. And thank you.
Melania uses similar language. Let's play it.
Tell us about that, the challenge of being the first lady of the greatest country in the world. Everyone's pulling at you, but you also have your priority of your family.
It's very important. You need to be there for a child nonstop, especially when they need you, especially at that age that Barron is. He's incredible young man. We are very proud of him. Second year in Stern School of Business. And
I want to bring in Democratic Congresswoman Ansari right now. Here's my interview with Congresswoman Ansari about her efforts to take the deposition and to subpoena Barron Trump. Let's bring in the interview with Ansari. Now I want to bring in Arizona Congresswoman Yasmin Ansari. Congresswoman Ansari, great to see you. I want to talk about the letter that you sent calling for an investigation. And you sent this letter to James Comer, chairman of the House Oversight Committee. Talk to us about the investigation you're calling for and how it also involves Barron Trump as well.
Thank you so much for having me. Well, as you know, Ben, we have been deep in the midst of the Epstein investigation in the House Oversight Committee, where House Democrats have been pushing James Comer forcefully throughout the last year to take this investigation seriously because of the Trump administration's cover-up and because of the ties to so many in Epstein's orbit. A much less covered story is that of Andrew and Tristan Tate, who are, of course, more modern day criminals in the realm. You know, they have been accused and have charges against them. I think 50 charges combined in the United Kingdom for things like rape, solicitation, and exploitation of minors, child sex trafficking as well. And there have long been ties between the Tates and the Trump family. And in particular, there's been some really great reporting that shows, you know, from the New York Times and Financial Times, et cetera, the connections with the kids of Donald Trump Jr., Barron Trump. It is reported that Barron Trump played a key role in facilitating, especially during the 2024 campaign, the relationship between the Tate brothers and the campaign. And, you know, Andrew Tate was very publicly supportive of Donald Trump. And we know that even more egregiously, perhaps, an administration official at the Munich Security Conference intervened and spoke with a Romanian official about Andrew Tate's case in particular. So what I am demanding from Chairman Comer is to open an investigation into all of this, into looking at and examining the ties and the coordination that may have taken place between the Tates and the Trump White House. Who especially, has been making those connections, whether that's Donald Trump Jr., Barron Trump, members of the administration or the cabinet. I think this is really important to look at because these are criminals. These are very serious criminals that were brought to the United States after these charges were put forward. So I hope Chairman Comer takes this seriously. I think this is part of the broader corruption story of the Trump family and part of the broader trend and pattern that we see from them, which is to protect criminals and do everything possible to protect criminals from getting any sort of repercussions or accountability.
One of the odd things about Barron Trump is he's an adult. I mean, he's a grown-up. And if you listen to how Donald Trump talks about him or how Melania even speaks about him, you would think that he's like a little boy. It's Melania's little boy and this and that. But,
right.
These relationships that we even know about objectively are very, very dangerous. And this whole idea that somehow Barron's this little boy and he's off limits and he's Melania's little one, it rings very hollow, especially with already what we know. And I was, I really appreciated your letter because it was like, just enough of this. Just stop. This is a grown man, ostensibly in Barron, who could be doing bad things. Stop it. Gloves off and let's see what's going on.
Absolutely. I could not agree more. Barron Trump is an adult. He's a full-blown adult, and he is very influential in the Trump White House orbit. I mean, we know from, from the first administration and from this administration, that the Trump children play a very big role in the administration and policies that are passed. They benefit financially from the way the Trump administration operates and the self-dealing and the corruption that takes place. We know, very famously, Ivanka Trump also, who I think even as a grown woman gets the same kind of treatment, right? Because of her relationship with her father, and the way Donald Trump talks about her. I think there are a lot of parallels to be drawn with the, Donald Trump Ivanka relationship and the way he tries to, let her get away with her actions. It's the same with Barron and Melania. But Ivanka had a very big role in the first administration. Jared Kushner is still conducting foreign policy on behalf of the United States. Barron Trump has not only been influential in the campaign and connecting the campaign to the manosphere, which of course Andrew Tate is a major influencer in that space, but he also has is similar to his brothers, undertaking in corruption, undertaking in investments and prediction markets and stock trading, that is to his own benefit while the administration takes away healthcare from millions of Americans. So we need to stop looking at them as though they're these like innocent, naive kids who, aren't part of any of this. They also choose the limelight. They choose to want to be involved with the campaigns. They choose to be involved with the administration. And therefore, if they are committing crimes or if they are engaging in activity that is against the law in any way, shape, or form, then they ultimately have to be held accountable for that.
Yeah, I got a sense, and tell me, if Democrats take control of the House, much more robust oversight. I mean, there's barely any oversight being done right now by Comer, but I think we may be hearing a lot more questions like, where is Ivanka? Where is Barron? I mean, Ivanka Jared doing, these, taking over islands in Albania. Why is Jared even, representing the United States when he wasn't even appointed? What type of deals were being done? And more about Barron in general, too. Is there any other connections with crypto, with the meme coins, with all of these things that we're hearing about where Trump made all this money and other people, were screwed over? These are lots of questions that people have. Do you think that if Democrats take control of the House, we'll be seeing not just what your letter is asking about, but more oversight and questions into Barron, maybe even subpoenaing Barron directly for hearings?
Democrats are preparing to be as aggressive as possible on day one. We are going to be looking to tackle corruption. We are going to be conducting oversight like you have never seen before. I'm really excited that we have some really stellar leaders who are currently ranking members, who will be chairs of committees. I mean, I'm so grateful that we have Robert Garcia at the helm of the Oversight Committee. And as chair, I know, with the work that we're already doing now, we are preparing what's the laundry list of subpoenas that we're going to have ready to go at our first hearing to move forward on, because the amount of corruption is it's staggering. It's unprecedented. We've never seen corruption like this before. And so it's going to be a ton of work. And we are going to bring these people under oath in front of the American people, no more behind closed doors and, trying to let people get away with the bare minimum when it comes to accountability. This is going to be very serious. And I think you're going to see that across committees in Congress when Democrats are in power.
So you think we can see subpoenas of the Trump kids, Eric, Don Jr., Barron, if that's where the evidence leads?
I hope to issue one of those myself. Absolutely. I mean, there's no question. I mean, look at Donald Trump Jr. as one example. Donald Trump Jr. has been at the forefront and has made record profits because he is a partner at a venture capital firm that continues to invest in companies that are getting contracts from the federal government, oftentimes no bid contracts from the federal government at the direction of senior administration officials and who knows, maybe Donald Trump himself. I mean, this is unprecedented levels of corruption. And the contrast between what they're doing to the American people is what makes it even more egregious. It's not just that they're making billions of dollars, which should in and of itself be reason to hold them accountable and prosecute them. But at the same time, they're ripping away healthcare from Americans. They're giving billions of dollars to ICE that is terrorizing people across this country. There's food assistance cuts like we've never seen before. They're refusing to lower the cost of living for American people while they get richer and richer and richer because their dad is in the White House and their dad is the president. And their dad actually uses his platform every single day to manipulate markets. We've seen that in this war, to talk about companies or issues that his sons are investing in. So yes, absolutely. There will be subpoenas and these people will come before Congress. I think Donald Trump himself needs to come testify, especially before the Oversight Committee as it pertains to the Epstein files. I think the work ahead, I will tell you, is there's no lack of it.
Finally, before we go, you've been outspoken about Donald Trump's rapid cognitive and physical decline, which is a serious national security issue. The whole world sees it. I know some in our press are afraid to call it out, but it's just so obvious and very disturbing. Before we go, I'd love to hear your thoughts.
I've been concerned for a long time about this, and I'm really not saying it lightly. I think there have been a couple of moments that I have found the most alarming as it pertains to Donald Trump's cognitive decline. I think we've seen it very clearly with how he's handled his illegal war in Iran. And look at the way he has the type of language that he's used, right? Like on April 7th, after 6 weeks of bombing Iran and escalation in the Middle East, he threatened to end the civilization that night. And we have seen very apocalyptic language from him ever since then as well, when negotiations aren't going his way. And that is coupled with somebody who's spending hours every single night posting sometimes dozens of posts on Truth Social. He's seems to be creating a lot of AI images of himself and his family. There's been so many I can't even keep track of. He's doing this at 3, 4 a.m. Then during the day, he'll fall asleep in meetings. And I mean, how many photos of him and videos of him have we now seen where there's senior cabinet officials behind him and he's dozing off? I mean, this is a national security risk. This is the guy with the nuclear codes. This is the guy, talking to foreign leaders and charged with keeping Americans safe. I don't feel safe with this kind of leader at the helm of the country right now. I don't know how you could feel safe. So it's incredibly dangerous. And that's why I was one of the first, I believe, to call for the 25th Amendment, and recognizing that's a long shot with the kind of cabinet that we have. But the 25th Amendment was created for a time like this that we could never have conceived of.
Congresswoman Ansari, thanks for joining us. We appreciate you as always.
Thank you so much.
Everybody hit subscribe. Let's get to 7 million subscribers. Want to stay plugged in? Become a subscriber to our Substack at MeidasPlus.com. You'll get daily recaps from Ron Filipkowski, ad-free episodes of our podcast, and more exclusive content only available at MeidasPlus.com.